My name's Sarah. I am an illustrator and designer from Australia, and I currently live in northern Nevada, in the mountains with my husband. I work from home. I'm a freelancer. So awkward doing these things. Today is the 16th of June, 2020. I planned to make this video today because I thought that it was exactly 1 month since I opened my Etsy store, but I've just gone onto my Instagram to check and I'm a day late. So I have had my Etsy store online for a month and 1 day. I'm kicking myself that I didn't film this yesterday. Anyways, I wanted to take you guys along on the journey. I'm not planning on doing these updates every month, but I don't know, I just thought it would be interesting to get my thoughts and my opinions on how things are going. Let's see. So, I opened my store a month ago. Let's just say things have been slow. I wasn't expecting it to blow up, but I expected to get at least a bit more traffic than I did. I was quite surprised by how slow the Etsy system itself works. Like when you upload a product, it doesn't necessarily appear available in Etsy Marketplace for sometimes hours. I know I've watched all of the videos about like how to be successful on Etsy, and I know the things that they tell you to do, and I feel like I've done them all. I think the only thing that I haven't done is I haven't been driving my own outside traffic to Etsy. I've mostly been relying on Etsy to do that work for me, and I think that's where I'm coming up short, which is okay. So looking at my first month, I made 2 sales. The style of shop that I decided to open was a printable shop. I live in a really rural area, and also it's the middle of a pandemic, so it's hard to get things. I wasn't quite ready to be investing in a large inventory. My skill set is a graphic designer. That's what I primarily trained in. And yeah, I guess I just was like a little nervous about investing in actually building up an inventory, or alternatively getting a printer and printing everything on demand here. I just wasn't quite ready for it. So I decided to go with a printable store, which sounds great because there's very little upfront cost except for my time. But it's a really hard market. Some of the top printable stores on Etsy at the moment have 10,000 products, and they've made thousands and thousands and thousands of sales, and everything is at a very low price already. There's lots of really good deals. Yeah, it's a hard market to break into. The type of product that I decided to start with is posters, or like home decor that people can print themselves. I've been doing mostly quotes and a little bit of artwork, but as a whole, I feel like I'm being hypercritical of myself, but I think that some of the stuff that I've been putting out is kind of boring. Not because I don't think it's good, it's a very minimal approach, and I can see it looking beautiful in people's homes. It's just, as a whole, when you look at the actual store itself, it can look a little bit boring because the individual pieces are quite stripped back. So there's some areas that I definitely think that I can grow and progress in. At the moment, I'm using purely mock-ups for all of my images, which is great because I can get a high quality image without having to take a high quality image, but there's only so many mock-ups, so a lot of my work is looking kind of similar. I'll use the same mock-up for different color variations of the same product. So if I have a particular quote that I've turned into a poster and I have it in 4 or 5 different colors, depending on what the colors are, sometimes I'll use the same mock-up for 3 of them because it was the best mock-up that I had for that particular image, and that's what made it look the best. which is fine if you were to just come across one of them, but I think when people land on my store, they'd be seeing a lot of the same stuff, which I don't think is very strong. The way to fix this would be to either invest in more mock-ups, which I'm not making enough yet to do that. I understand that you need to spend money to make money, but that's not something that I want to focus on right now. So I can either find more mock-ups or I can take my own photos. And I 100% want to be doing that. I want to fill this wall behind me as like a giant gallery wall and have my own pieces in there and have retro pieces in there, like vintage pieces that I found, and potentially put some other artists' artwork in there. I think it's going to be really fun. But we're in a rental. These walls are horribly textured. You can't see, but they have this horrible texture on them. So I pretty much can't use the like removable stickers on them. I've tried sticking things to these walls before and they just don't stick, which means that I'm going to be putting 30-40 holes in these walls with nails so that I can hang artwork, which I don't have a problem with doing 1 or 2, but especially if it's something that I'm going to be regularly changing, which was the plan because I want to take photos of the new artwork as it comes out, it just doesn't really work. I also have dreams of our next house having this beautiful gallery wall in my studio, and I want the walls to be coloured. I want like a beautiful like dark navy wall and all of the colours to just like pop on it. That was my dog. And I'm just kind of uninspired by this room, which is really frustrating. Also, I'm doing my best to not leave the house at the moment, so I haven't been going to store unnecessarily. I don't really want to be like spending more time in stores than I need to, so I'll go and I'll get my groceries and I'll leave. Like, I don't want to be browsing 4 or 5 different stores trying to find the right frames, and I don't have a printer here, so I would have to also be spending time in these stores like getting the artworks printed out. I'm waiting for all of that to be done. So I know I'm making excuses, but it's just not a good time to be doing that right now, which is a bummer because I think that could be good for the store. It's also a big investment if it doesn't look good. Like, at the end of the day, if I can't take a good photo, it's a lot of time and energy to invest in something that I could just use another digital mock-up and have a professional photo there and they look really good. I don't know. I'm torn. But anyways, that is one of the points. I think that my mock-ups could be working against me. The second point is that I am not driving my own traffic to the Etsy store. I am very much relying on the Etsy marketplace to bring business to me, which I know I can't do, but I'm still very uncomfortable sharing my own work with my own community, which I know is something that I need to get over, but that's where I'm at. I'm still working through it. I'm still trying to get more comfortable with sharing my own work and with asking people to visit my store and see if there's something that they like. I'm currently reading Show Your Work by Austin Klein. I will double check that. I'll also link it below. I'm reading it on my Kindle, so I can't show you the book. But that has been really fun. I'm really enjoying reading that. So fingers crossed by the time I get to the end of it, I have a new wave of energy and I'm inspired to do that. The third thing that I think is holding me back is when I started my Etsy store, I told myself that I was always going to have a bank of new products listed in my store, and either every day or every other day I was going to be releasing them. Because I know dripping out new content regularly is something that Etsy really likes, and I can spend like 1 day a week creating new products and then have all of the products to go out over the next week, in particular because a lot of the work that I'm currently doing, I can make different colorways for each of the designs that I do. So one design can be 4 or 5 different products. So the time that it takes me to do one design I can have 5 days worth of new listings, or if I wanted to split them up a little bit, it could be like a whole week's worth of new listings that only took me a few hours to do. So that's something that I told myself I would do. I know that they literally say in the videos on how to be successful on Etsy that you just need to be in there every single day. You need to be in there tinkering, doing things, changing your tags, changing your like product names and photos and things like that. And I've been in there a lot, but I haven't been in there every day. It's a big commitment, especially when it's not the primary business that I'm working on. It's a side hustle that I'm working on the side of my freelancing. So yeah, I need to be in there more. I need to be going in and updating my tags. When I first originally launched the store, I was putting really similar tags on all of my products because I didn't really know any better. And since then I've done a lot of research, and a lot of the tags that I was using just weren't very good. So I've been slowly going through, while also uploading new products with new tags, I've been going through and updating the tags on my old products. And it just kind of takes time to do that. Like I'll try and set aside an hour every now and again so I can go in and update a few of them. I think I'm only about halfway through them. So I have quite a lot of listings which are not set up to their full potential right now. So that's just something on my list that I need to get in. But then I have that thing in the back of my head telling me like, start making new products. Like I'll have more success if I make new products as opposed to going in and changing my old ones. And I know that I need to do both of them. It's just finding the time to do either of them right now is kind of hard because my freelancing is going really well. So yeah. So these are my thoughts on my first month with Etsy. I'm kind of disappointed with how the store is going, but I'm also not discouraged. I know that it's going to be some slow growth, and I know that there are a few key things that I can do that will really help to drive the business further. I just need to get off my butt and do them. As a whole, I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I'm still doing it, and I am excited to watch the store grow. There was a large period of time this month which I spent searching through online archives of vintage posters and finding ones that I would be able to sell on my store. So I've sourced a bunch of those. I've got permission to sell them in the store. I've gone through and I've reformatted all of them. They were all completely different sizes, so I had to go through and like individually work out from the pixel dimensions what their like physical size would be when they were printed on the wall. So I've worked out all of the dimensions for each of them. I batched all of them in Photoshop, so every single one has been converted to 300 DPI for print and 72 DPI for web. And then I also went through and put every single one of them into a mock-up so that you could see it in a frame against a wall. And I put every single one of them into a different template that I created, which kind of showed a close-up of some of the details, and it shows the true colors of what it actually looks like rather than some of the distorted colors that came from the mock-up because of like lighting and things like that. So that was a lot of work. There's over 100 of these, and now the next job is to get every single one of them uploaded into the back end of Etsy and write the titles, descriptions and tags for every single one of them. And because they're all different, it's a lot of work. I think I've done 3. So next month, my strategy is to get all of those out. That's what I'm going to be focusing on for month 2. And I'm hoping that I can see some growth from that. Month 3, I'm going to be focusing on putting together some bundles. With the type of product that I'm making, I know that a lot of people want more than a single piece, or that there's kind of like 2 different audiences. There's someone who's coming in, they want a feature piece for their wall, they have an idea of like what kind of colors they need or what kind of look it is, so when they find it, they want it, they're happy, that's everything done. For the other customer, they have a whole area of their room that they're trying to decorate, and they don't necessarily want to be fishing for pieces all over the place. They would be more interested in finding sets or bundles. So I'm going to be using all of these retro prints as well as some of my own ones, and putting together like ready to print cover your whole wall bundles, or like sets of 2 or 3 that work really nicely together. So yeah, that's going to be month 3. Stay tuned for that. Not really sure how to finish this. These are all of my thoughts. I just wanted to sit down and kind of get everything out of my brain and share what I have experienced so far and what I'm going to do to make things better, because my experience has been a little bit sad. I hope you found this I hope you found this interesting. If you did, please make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. That's the third one. Ring the bell so that you can see all of the new videos that I put up. I put up studio vlogs and kind of like day in the life of a freelancer, artist, designer. I do design challenges every now and again, and I'm going to be sharing things about my Etsy store as that continues to grow. So if you're interested in any of those things, stick around. Thank you. Bye.